Summerslam to everything all here now. Episode 50!
50. We made it. We made it to 50.
Happy 50th, everyone.
Yeah. Was
Isn't
that
it?
diamond?
Feel a bit weird.
The diamond edition? Is that what they call it? Like
Ruby?
Ruby?
I don't know what 50 is.
I'm going to have to Google that because I don't know. I know
I mean, we could have done this before.
You think we've been sat here for about 2 hours asking about, but
yeah. You know, if you've got to 50 episodes of this, you know that isn't our style.
I can't see the screen now.
We
I can
just-
usually see the camera and I can't see what I'm doing this time.
You're checking your phone. You're looking good.
Thanks. 50th wedding
Actually,
anniversary.
to be fair, you could
Am I a
probably
bit out?
come over a little
It's
bit.
golden!
It's golden.
There you go, gold. Yep,
Yeah,
golden wedding 50.
You're right, a
It's
few
exciting,
inches
innit?
further that way. But yeah,
Got the balloons,
I think
look.
we've come this way a little bit.
Because it's a 50th one, it's a landmark episode. I'm coming
It is,
round.
we've got the
There you
balloons.
go, look at this. There we go, we're all here.
Yeah.
Our
that's
water,
pretty nice.
Evian.
Yeah,
Bottled water, did you know
that-
Evian is naive backwards?
Yeah.
Bottled water.
Did you also know they've got a Snapchat?
Snapchat.
They've got a Snapchat.
This is going to annoy me though.
Go on.
You go 6 inches that way and you do the same. Because we're not in the middle.
So I go back this way.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just so that, yeah.
Oh,
'cause
right,
then-
okay, so...
So that you're actually in the middle.
Right, okay, so the
There
middle
we
of my
go.
t-shirt should be my Film Club t-shirt.
And I'm officially reborn by fate.
I'm just going
Adam's not sponsored by anyone this week.
I've gone black today, except for the hat, obviously. There you
Well, I
go.
wonder what you mean by that. Is there a secret message?
There's no secret message. See you Friday.
He's doing it again.
One of us has got to go, and I've not decided if I'm going yet. Not decided.
I thought you got tickets.
I've got tickets to the country of America and the
You
great
have-
state of New York. but I
You're
haven't
going
got
to go
substance.
all the way there, and
Yeah.
you might not go to SummerSlam.
Oh, well, there you go. Let's make that the kind of thing for the podcast. Is it worth me going or not?
You'll probably
Well-
go to NXT, but not SummerSlam.
Well, they give
I'm
out...
not going to go to NXT. Definitely not going to go to NXT.
Sure.
Yeah.
NXT's the better show.
Don't fancy it this year. I don't fancy any of the matches on it. We
Really?
can talk about that.
Yeah.
Is someone going to do the intro to the podcast before we do the podcast?
Yeah.
I
think
reckon
it's
Tim.
insane.
Yeah, he's not going to do it for a while. Is it?
No, probably not.
No. About 6 months, maybe.
Who knows?
Do we officially address this?
No,
No. Okay.
no.
All right. Well.
Is that, are we
I
bright enough? Or do you want to turn the light
I
on?
want the light, please. Where's the light?
Just,
Wait a minute. It's a clap light.
Go on, you back.
There we go.
Okay. Right. Oh, that's much better.
You can see us now.
Okay, now look how bright those balloons are.
Oh, I thought it's yellow and green, aren't they?
Why'd you go for yellow and green?
They're the ones I found in the drawer. I wasn't going to do it, I just found them.
Obviously, had a yellow and green themed party at some point.
I can't remember why I had them. Just,
Balloons are just fun.
Yeah.
I always like to have a few kicking around the house. Just
Not going to make any blowing jokes?
No.
Should we just go straight for it
we're
then?
not that kind of podcast. Come on.
Yeah, we fuck it up.
What about wrestling? You ready?
Go on.
Come on, Tim. No pressure. Get it right first time.
Yeah, I didn't. Just this new version of fucking GarageBand has this load of presets and shit. Fuck you.
Sorry,
So-
YouTube.
Is it updated?
YouTube is loving this shit. Right. Ready. Welcome to the Triple Threat Club Podcast, episode 50!
Woo woo!
Yay.
Oh, I'm insulted by your lack of enthusiasm.
I'm,
Be excited!
I don't get hyped.
Here we are. Got balloons everywhere.
Yeah.
Next episode.
Can I do this?
No, leave him. Why do it?
We made a nice display for YouTube,
And now you've just knocked them all
fucked them
down.
all off.
Can I just... Oh, now I can do this.
No!
No, we're,
It's a podcast. They can't see you holding the balloon up. Makes no sense.
Well, they can on YouTube.
Shut the fuck up. Let's get on with it. How long was that?
Who are you?
I've left
Who are
already.
you again? You're Adam.
Yeah, he didn't do it,
He
did
didn't
he?
do it, yeah.
I got distracted by you.
I'm-
That's it. He's out of the
Let's
group.
do ours. Let's just do it. I'm Adam, alright?
I'm Jonathan. It's great.
That's Jay listening to this style.
No.
This is
I'm
SummerSlam.
not having that as a catchphrase either. Shitting. We're not having any of the shit stuff this time. It's the 50th one. Golden episode. Let's make it a good one. So,
Okay, then.
what are you doing on your phone?
I've got the card for SummerSlam
Okay.
because we're doing SummerSlam predictions.
Special SummerSlam prediction show. It's SummerSlam on Sunday. It's the big weekend. Yeah.
This episode is titled "Should Adam bother going to SummerSlam or not?"
This is it, because I could go. I went last
Yeah.
year. I went to NXT and SummerSlam last year. Really enjoyed both of them. Apart from I left SummerSlam a little bit down after the Randy Orton mauling that took place, where we all were a bit genuinely worried if he was dead or not.
The straight up mugging.
Yeah, people left very pissed last year. This year, I've decided already that I'm not going to go to NXT because I'm not overly enamoured with the card for NXT.
Really?
Who have we got?
So main event's Rude versus Drew McIntyre. Yeah.
But they'll be good wrestling matches, even if the names aren't as big or you go, oh, I really want to.
But I don't. You will, like, technically in watching them, there'll be good matches, but I don't care who wins any of them. I'm not invested in any of them. So I don't. Like last year, we had DIY versus Revival, one of the matches of the year, fucking brilliant. We had Bobby Roode had just started, so it was like we all sang along, and he came down from the fucking ceiling, brilliant. Asuka versus Bayley, turned out to be Bayley's last NXT match. Shinsuke versus Joe for the title.
Pretty good, isn't it?
Pretty good. This year...
Are you saying NXT's fallen?
Yes, I am. I don't think it's been very good. It might be Bobby Roode's NXT, but it's not as good.
Question is now, though, if you find yourself within transport distance and you can get an NXT ticket for 30, 40 quid, do you still not go? What else are you going to do on that Saturday night?
I know where I am staying in New York, and it would be a bit of a ball ache.
Oh, okay.
And it's extra money and for transport and possibly accommodation again, and obviously the ticket.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm not overly forced.
So we need to try and help you figure out whether you're going to go to SummerSlam or not.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, like you say, some of the matches on NXT will be all right. Yeah. Who else is on?
Clearly,
Asuka versus Ember Moon.
Clearly Ziggler's going to
Asuka.
debut. And you're going to miss it.
Gargano and Cianomos. A lot of rumours about Adam Cole.
He's signed.
He's signed apparently, so he might appear.
He apparently, though, like, he is your... I don't know, is he your gimmick son or is he your dad? And because you, like, had a gay adoption with Michael Cole. I'm just thinking out loud.
That was a reach.
That wasn't bad thinking about.
Michael Cole does the reach.
Yeah, I'd cheer if he came out, but I wouldn't be overly forced, really.
No,
I'm not.
he's just another one at this rate.
Adam Cole.
I don't know about him enough. I don't want to sound
He's
like I
pretty
know about him enough because I don't.
He's
I've heard he's pretty
just
good, so
he's just another one.
not that fussed. Yeah, and Asuka and
Um,
Ember Moon.
The second they release an Adam Cole t-shirt, I'll be buying it.
You buy anything.
It's disposable income.
This is it.
Yeah, I think I'm a proper little geek in the market after
No, just in
Ring
general.
of Honor and New Japan stuff.
Yeah, I know. So.
Yeah, that's fine.
For purposes
Come on,
of
you
the
two. I feel like I'm too close to you. I'm not liking it at all.
For the purposes of the audio, he just gestured to his t-shirt then. Because, I mean, the sound will have been
We're
like...
on YouTube.
But people who are listening on iTunes aren't.
Just get on with it. What are we talking about? Let's talk about SummerSlam. I'll talk about it. Let's go.
Why is
So you
everyone
mother going to
tense?
SummerSlam?
Relax.
We are a bit, aren't we today?
Chill out.
I'm not.
Something in the air.
You've got to speak though. Let's
No
get
comments.
going.
Yeah, relax.
Alright. So, should Adam go to SummerSlam?
So,
Make it sound. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be good. I mean, it could be good, and there are some possibilities for some good things to happen. And like I say, there should be some good matches. It's a long show,
yeah.
which puts me off slightly.
It's going to be 2-hour pre-show, I imagine.
2 then 4.
2 then 4.
I've got to sit there for 6 fucking hours.
You don't have to get in there for the pre-show, though, do you?
I could get in 5 minutes before the end if I wanted to.
Yeah, so I think
It's a bit pointless.
if it were me, completely fuck the pre-show. I'm not.
If you've paid how much you've got to pay though, go for the old show. If you're paying for your ticket, why go in and see it all?
What's going to be on the pre-show? Because
nothing officially announced as pre-show yet, but there are 12 matches.
Because there's something I feel like should be addressed is that they seem to have given a lot of these SummerSlam matches away this week?
In a way,
All that
I
seemed to
agree.
be like you think about the Neville Tozawa match, and you think that was pre-show fodder.
Yeah, so that's why I'm glad they put it on Raw. For all the people who will actually see it, and because people will sack off, like you just said, you're not asked about the pre-show.
Well, I was also thinking.
So I think that's a great idea to put that one on Raw.
I think there are possibly a number of reasons why that was a good idea. As much as it's a little bit shit that you got a big title change that hasn't been on a pay-per-view, I think maybe they're thinking we don't want every single title changing in one night, or maybe they've got too many changing and they thought, okay, we want the cruiserweight to change, but let's do that on Raw instead so that there's more of a balance, because now it can just be defended at SummerSlam and it can be one of the one that's retained. Does that make sense?
It does. I think it's more because it would have been on the pre-show and no one would have been asked about it. I think it's that.
Well, they're still going to have the match.
I know, but no one's going to be asked now because he's already won it.
Yeah, it's the obligatory rematch that we all hate.
So we can have that on the pre-show because not really asked.
Well, we'll talk about that one first then. Is there any way this is a swerve and Neville just wins it back?
I hope not.
Nah, that'd be... I mean, you never know. We get trolled all the time, don't we? But
I really hope they don't do that. He's had it for a long time.
Yeah, he's had a good run.
Yeah.
He's been brilliant. If someone's finally beat him for it, brilliant. Don't give it him straight back again. It defeats the whole object of it, really. He needs to do something. Keep him going for it, but let's see what... He should maybe go a bit nuts or something now that he's lost it. What becomes of the king now he's not got his crown anymore? All that kind of stuff. Do something with it.
I imagine they won't. I imagine they'll just do the match and move on. And probably nothing will come of it.
Does no one else think, why did they do this on 205 Live?
That would have been too much of a step down. 205 Live is about to die.
Yeah.
But why not, as one last ditch effort, put a title change for that division, that show that is dedicated to that division, put a title change on that show and see what it does to the ratings?
They could have done it.
It just seems crazy to put a title change on not the show that it's meant to be on.
I would imagine that whoever's in charge of 205 Live knows that it's dead right now, and they also know that putting a title change on 205 Live and it getting no reaction would highlight the fact that no one gives a shit about 205 Live. So they have to just pretend that it's still an awesome, cool thing and not take chances.
Well, I think it's a good thing if they're trying to put, because they still have it on Raw and they don't just have it on its own show. It's on Raw, it's on the main show, so more people watch it. So if more people are watching, two people, it was a good match, it was good. Quite a big thing that it changed hands and all that, and you've got Titus running around and Apollo Crews is a part of it a little bit now as well. So I think they've thought, well, that might bring people in. If the Raw watchers see that, then they might tune in on Tuesday, as opposed to let's hope somebody's watching on Tuesday. Because it makes more sense.
People will just hear about it happening on 205 and then just be like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they've booked the whole cruiserweight division wrong from the start, but for me, I'm cool with it. It's cool that they're on Raw, but that should be almost like a teaser. You know what I mean? Like, oh, look what these high flying guys do. They do this every week on 205 Live. You're missing out if you miss.
I know what you say.
The issue
That's what it should be. You should be throwing them in tag matches and just letting them do some crazy shit.
But they don't let them do that. They don't do crazy shit.
That's how they should be booking it. But
I think at this point, 205 Live was always going to be a bad idea. Because I think even if you've got the best cruiserweights in the whole world, I don't think it's enough of a draw. When you've already got 5 hours worth of live Raw and SmackDown, you've already got probably NXT fans watching a bit of that as well. Plus, there's enough of percentage of wrestling fans who are watching New Japan and Ring of Honor and TNA and all these things as well. 205 comes along and we're just like,
watching TNA.
Okay, some people watch TNA. There are people in the crowd, even if there's only 6 of them.
There's 25 fat bastards watching TNA out there.
Yeah, so there are 25 people in the whole world who are given 205 and they're like, oh, I just need another slice of pizza and go to sleep. I don't want to watch.
They could have done. I think you're right in how it's gone, but I think it could have been good, and they dropped the ball with it and fucked it up. Because the Cruiserweight Classic, we all agree, we always go back to it, was great. If they'd taken all those people, all of them, not just 6 of them or whatever they did take, they'd taken all of them and then made it a show with storylines, with characters, with a bit of effort behind it as an actual brand, like they did with NXT, not as an extra little bonus show after SmackDown. If they'd made it a brand, I think it would have worked, because you got good wrestlers and you had good possibilities.
Is it not too much having Raw, SmackDown, NXT 205? Even if
No,
all of them
they
are
say
amazing.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, but when do we get to watch them? Because they all happen during the night, so we all end up. And
There's that, and there's the case for wrestling overload and all that kind of stuff. But
and when are you guys going to watch Game of Thrones and or the other all the little girly programs you watch? I don't know.
Just alienated
Well,
about 10 million people.
all the walking zombie.
There's a lot of good shit. Well, you watch them when you want, don't you?
Yeah, it's on demand.
It's on demand. It's streaming. It's all safe for you on the network. I actually watched NXT last week, but I hadn't watched. I watched a couple of them because I thought I haven't watched this for a little bit. Brooklyn's coming up. I'll watch a bit of this.
Raw and SmackDown aren't like that though.
No. But it's all on YouTube for your clips, isn't it? You can just watch it.
Apparently it isn't all on YouTube.
Well, we'll get to that.
I don't have access to watch it like the proper TV broadcast, so YouTube highlights are pretty much the only way I can watch it because it's not on the network.
Yeah, well, I think Raw and SmackDown are slightly different animals, but like you said, you can just go on network and go, oh yeah, I could do a catching up NXT. Yeah, I've got 2 episodes to watch, or, and you could do the same with 205. Oh, I've not watched that for 2 weeks. They've got Zack Sabre Jr. on there fighting whoever. Yeah, in that. Because that's how I consume the network. Like the other night, I was texting you going, "Oh, there's a couple of extra table for threes I've not seen on there."
Yeah.
And there was, so I just binged 3 episodes of that. And I was just like, brilliant, man.
They're cool extras because they'll just be there all the time. I guess I kind of agree with you to that. If you actually had just like several more amazing extra shows that were different, like genres of wrestling almost, it would be cool. But I think WWE's thinking, if we look at the ratings of it, we need to have killer ratings across the board to justify this because of money. And if we get a killer 205 consistent rating, then either Raw or SmackDown or both suffers, because they will be thinking there's only so much wrestling people will be able to take per week.
I would be that guy again because it's the most boring argument in wrestling. But if Raw wasn't 3 hours and it was only 2, there you go. If we had Raw, SmackDown, 205, 2 hours each.
There you go.
Fucking mind blowing. Hour of NXT every.
Don't want to be that guy, but it seems fucking obvious, really. If you want good wrestling and good shows, or it depends if you just want to make money or not. I don't know what Vince and WWE want to do. If they want the money or good shows. I do. It's the money. It's the money.
From a storyline and promo angle, I don't think. I kind of disagree with you. I don't think they had enough quality in the Cruiserweight Classic. I think the way the Cruiserweight Classic was produced was excellent, but you take them into that kind of a format, I don't think it works as well. And I think you kind of have got the best of the best from the Cruiserweight Classic on 205, and that's why it hasn't worked.
You haven't got the best match. One of the best matches was.
That's matches of. I don't know what these guys are like with mic skills, storytelling.
Give them a chance then.
Maybe.
Unless you give it them, you're not going to do it. If you've not got Gargano and Ciampa, arguably 2 of the best wrestlers of last year and this year.
What happens to NXT if they're not there though?
That's where you build up your new people. Like if NXT's got and you bring in your Ring of Honor guys and all that. NXT, if they've just signed Adam Cole and all that, they can easily go out and get some of the UK guys over, do the UK stuff on that. And like Kota Ibushi was brilliant in every match he did. They're the 3 ones that I
dropped the ball with Kota Ibushi, didn't they?
And they could have done something with him and easily done something with it.
Just been tearing it up in Japan in the G1s.
There you go, someone else. They were the best people, really. Yeah. I think we said it a million times. It could have been. It was really good. They messed it up. There you go.
And it's dead, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Something different.
It's circling the drain, isn't it?
But are we saying Mr. Miyagi's going to maintain the
Cruiserweight
Championship?
I am hoping the new Cruiserweight champion Akira Tozawa retains his championship, and I quite like how he's doing stuff with Titus Brand worldwide at the moment. Worldwide? That's how you got to say it.
It's good bottom of the god shit, isn't it?
It's fine by me.
It'll do.
It was a nice moment actually seeing Apollo Crews coming out and being like really happy, and just all
they
being
genuinely
really
all
happy.
looked really happy, didn't they? It was good.
Do we want another match?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Big Show, Big Cass, with Enzo in a shark cage.
I think this is just silly.
Yep.
For the start, there's no way you fit a shark in that cage. They're fucking massive. You can't fit a shark in that cage, so I don't understand why they call it a shark cage.
See,
I can't tell if he's joking.
No,
or
I
not.
don't. That's what, because
tell.
we know him. I don't know if he's joking or not. Do you know the purposes of a shark cage?
To stop sharks from getting you by putting them in a cage.
No, I don't know.
I don't know if he's joking.
Still can't tell.
I don't know.
I don't think he even knows now.
You know that dolphin you've got in your boot?
That wouldn't fit in the cage either.
Tell us about his match then, Tim.
We've already seen it 6 times in the past 4 days.
It does happen every week on Raw, this match, and it's bizarre how they're doing it in the fact that Cass was brilliant on Raw this week. He was brilliant because he did a bit like Roman Reigns where he kept trying to speak. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Kept trying to speak this Sunday, and he kept doing it. And they fucking booed him out of the building. It was brilliant.
Good quality
It
crowd.
was the best.
It's
the
the
best
most
heat.
Yeah, it's the most comfortable I've seen him as a heel.
And he was loving it as well. It was great, and it wasn't in this kind of... When Roman did it and he just stood there and he booed him and he took it, that was different. That was... He had to fucking take it.
Yeah.
And they told him, go out there, stand there, and just take it.
Let
and
people throw shit at you.
Yeah, and hopefully that'll be the end of it. Obviously, it's fucking nowhere near.
No.
But this was a properly done one. How he did it, it was really good. I thought
he's a decent talker, guys.
He's really good.
Yeah.
It was good. They changed his music slightly.
Again, that's good.
Slight change, and it's a bit more rocky now. It sounds it's still
Good.
a bit generic, but it's still pretty good because it's still got that start, which I liked, and it's changed it, and it's a bit more big badass, kind of thing.
Not just lumbering giant.
Yeah, it's a bit better now.
Do you think it's interesting that this angle isn't probably as good as it could be, and yet it's still really over with the fans? I like the fact that I think Cass starting off as a big guy, having a feud with Big Show, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's probably the right thing to do. It's a good match for SummerSlam.
Because when he wins, it's going to look like he's the new big guy, which is kind of what he was saying in the promo when he got onto Big Show. It was like saying, I'm the new big guy. It's me now. Your time's done. Yeah. You're trying to stay relevant. All this, it's my time, and that is what should happen with it all. It just seems a bit silly the fact that he's supposed to be the heel in it. Yeah, they booed him, which was great, but
he's getting ganged up on.
But he's getting it's 2 against 1, and it's not like the 2 small guys. One of them's actually bigger than he is. So it's just a bit. I don't know what you call it, but it just seems a bit messed up, really. And putting Enzo in the shark cage.
Why?
I'm not really. It's just an extra little gimmick for the boring match that we've already seen. But
it just gives Enzo something to do.
Yeah.
I reckon that they set it up initially quite well, where there was a crossover of when he was going to break up with Enzo and when he kind of started feuding with Big Show. So it was perfect. He laid Enzo out. They had that match at the last pay-per-view, and that was done.
Yeah.
Now we're going to run with Big Show.
Yeah.
But then Enzo's still there.
Yeah, he needs to fuck off then, really.
I feel bad for Enzo, because you're right, he does need something to do, because they don't want that momentum to fade away too fast.
I think it's quite clear as well they haven't figured out what they're going to do with him next, so they're just keeping him around this bit.
Why wouldn't they have thought this through before?
I thought it was good that Cass said as well in his promo, he went a bit real with it and said, this is why everybody hates you backstage.
Yes.
I thought that was really good as well, because that's been the big
there was a nice little smirk as well after
it was
he said
good.
that. It was like,
and even when I've gone off Enzo completely, but when he came out and did the kind of like this Sunday, that was funny as well.
Yeah.
That was good. It was something different. It was something that he'd obviously just thought of outside because he didn't know they were going to do that much. So I quite like that. But yeah, I don't.
I think this actually highlights just how good Big Cass and Enzo are. Because the fact that they've been able to keep this going, like you said, they keep coming up with new ideas that the fans are loving and we're finding funny, but we're also like, there are some cool things and some rough things.
They do, but I hope this is the end of it.
Yeah, they just need to go away from each other now and do cool things with other people.
I'd put one of them on the other show.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Especially if we're having a shake-up when it happens after SummerSlam. Tim!
The picture on the promo that was released on social media.
Internet trolls.
Social media.
Internet trolls.
Said next week.
It happens.
So who do you think's going to win the match?
Big Show.
Do you?
Just because it would make no fucking sense.
I think Big Cass is going to win it.
I think Big Cass has laid out Big Show so many times in the past month.
No, Big Show's laid out Big Cass 2 weeks in a row. He's knocked him out cold.
Oh, okay. So we've had some momentum shift, but yeah, I don't know. It seems too obvious for Cass to win it now. But
Okay.
it's right for him to overcome not only the big guy but also the little guy.
Did you say?
I'm not really saying Big Show. I don't know who's going to win.
It's surely going to be Cass. Why were the club involved?
Something to do.
I just don't get why they came out.
Because they fought him last week, didn't they? So it was Enzo and Big Show last week against Gallows and Anderson, and then that's why they were a little.
Did
They
they
were
really
involved.
have much beef with them?
No, they were just helping him out. But they got involved with it a little bit. Lost to him last week, I think.
Are they going to get involved at SummerSlam?
Well, at the moment, I don't know if they've got anything else to do.
Yeah, I don't think they haven't.
What if they recruit Cass? He can be the Kevin Nash of the new DX.
I hope they don't do that.
Yeah, I hope they don't do that either.
Let Big Cass do his own thing. He's perfectly capable. Let him have a bit of a go.
Bring Festus back.
No.
Sorry. Do
Next
we want
match.
another match? Yeah. Who should we go for? Let's do Cena Corbin. Kind of a big one.
Straight in with this, with possibly the biggest story of the week in wrestling.
Yeah, but it's possibly the biggest story of the week in wrestling. But it means that it now has no consequence for SummerSlam.
I think this is absolutely shite in every sense of the word. It's awful, this.
Yep.
Like you said before, should they have given this the Cruiserweight title win on Raw? I think they should have done. I think it made sense to do it. For what we said before, this made absolutely no sense to do Baron Corbin cashing in his Money in the Bank on an episode of SmackDown before a pay-per-view. This is and spoiler alert, losing. It's awful. It's a complete fuck up from creative people again.
I'm not quite sure how I feel about it yet. I've literally just watched it.
You have,
so
I was like,
it.
as soon as I watched it, I was fucking fuming. I was like, that's a joke.
Everything about it is wrong. They have to understand now that heel or face, when you cash in that briefcase, everyone in the arena loves it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It is a cool moment.
I was there when he cashed in the briefcase. It's brilliant.
So when you then got someone like John Cena, who you want to maintain as a superhero
Captain
face,
America.
you then have him do the distraction, so that the ultra heel Mahal can regain the championship.
Yeah.
Retain the championship.
In a weak roll up as well.
Yeah.
Weak roll up from a distraction from a face.
Yeah.
Corbin gets fucked over here.
Yeah.
It's awful.
I think that's the overriding thing I'm feeling is that they've booked Corbin awful.
They've just
And they
decided
generally
it was a bad idea. That's all it was.
And they've generally booked him really, really strong. But yeah, I think they feel like they have got cold feet on this and thought, fuck, they need to get this off him.
They blatantly have. Because at the time, he wasn't my favourite to win it at the time.
No.
But then, yeah, if you've decided that he's your guy and he's won it, go with it. We'll all get behind. People have got behind Jinder as the heel champ.
We even accepted Sheamus when he cashed in on Reigns.
That was because it was Reigns, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they made it work.
This was
messed it up.
This was said about Sandow as well, that they booked him to lose pretty much every single match, and then Vince, like towards the end, was like, "See, nobody likes him," so they took the briefcase off him.
Yeah.
And I've been saying this for weeks. You have to have Carmella and Corbin winning pretty much every single match, whether they cheat or they win clean. You have to make them look strong because they have to look like potential champions. Because otherwise, once they cash in the briefcase, no one's going to care.
Well, yeah, I agree with that, but then at the same time, I think you can get them losing matches, and then you can, once they get the title, they sneak it and they win by cheating and all that kind of stuff. You can still have a champion who maybe shouldn't really be for whatever reason. You can do something with that.
But never lose clean, I think. It seems really weak.
I think you can do that, but this, for the character of Baron Corbin, it makes him look stupid.
Yeah.
It makes him look weak. I don't know, like you say, when he went to cash it in, the crowd fucking popped for it because this is cool. This is brilliant. Let's
smashing.
cheer this. This
Yeah.
is great.
I was there when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so they're behind it, and then to just go no, and now you're not getting it at SummerSlam either.
Yeah,
So that bit of excitement's gone.
Removing that possibility.
Yeah. Not gonna lie. Back to the original question of the podcast. Am I going to see a cash in? Big selling point for me.
Might see one.
I might.
But we could have seen two.
Would have been good. But then, like, even if he'd cashed in at SummerSlam and lost, like, not exactly like he did, because that was shit, like we've said. But if he hadn't won it, at least there was that kind of going into a SummerSlam main event or whatever it is. You're still thinking, oh, he's going to do it. He's not. He's got. Now, people are going to SummerSlam going, well, that's not and it's Jinder versus Shinsuke. Is that a good match, really?
And it's.
I'm being a bit funny.
It's Cena versus Corbin for no stakes.
Now that they'll argue that they have got stakes now because he's going to be fucking fuming that he cost him that. And not being funny, everyone will be behind Baron Corbin because John Cena fucking screwed him over. It had nothing to do with him. Yeah, he hit him with the briefcase, so what?
And now people are going to boo Cena again.
Yeah. Just when some people, and it was on SmackDown this week, don't know if you saw it, he did the Let's Go Cena, and he was acknowledging them both.
Yeah.
Pretty even this time, and it has been fairly even since he's come back. He's had the shit with Rusev, which was unfortunate, but yeah, now he's going to get booed out of the building. Because I'll be honest with you, that Brooklyn crowd, they do not suffer fools.
So who are we saying is winning this? Cena or
What match was it? Sorry, we talked about
Cena Corbin.
Cena Corbin. Super Cena.
You actually think they're going to bury him even lower?
I think Corbin's going to win. I think Corbin will win.
Clean?
So
two pay-per-view... No, not pay-per-views. But two big matches in a row. So Big Match John is going to lose two big matches in a row.
What did he lose?
He lost the number one contender to Nakamura. Clean.
Yeah, I think he will.
And then he's going to lose clean to Baron at
because he beat Mahal last night on SmackDown. So I reckon they'll say something with that.
They need Corbin to win because
he didn't actually beat Mahal, though, did he?
Yeah, pinned him after the top.
Oh, I couldn't remember if he pinned him or if he just got interrupted. That's shit. That's bad as well.
Oh, maybe he did. Maybe I'm talking shit. I don't know. I'm sure he did.
I thought Corbin interrupted.
Maybe he did
after the AA.
Maybe he did. I can't remember, to be honest. I was so angry with what happened.
It was all just bad.
I'll say Corbin will win more because I really hope for his sake that he does. Because
he needs it badly now.
Because it felt like they were trying to do something with him. Give him the briefcase. That means you're going somewhere.
And they booked him well from coming up from Maine. They've generally booked him well.
Yeah.
And made him look like a decent threat and someone who can, who's a big guy who can take on pretty much anyone. Yeah, and they've ruined it there for me. And they ruined it, and they ruined it at the worst possible time as well.
I'm not entirely convinced either way because I think they were building him and he was getting a few good opportunities. But I think on the most part we were probably thinking I should have done a little bit more at every single thing he's done.
Yeah, I
was
I
a
go
bit
with
bored.
that.
But
I thought it was going to be quite a long burner though with it.
Yeah, I was thinking it's going to work out for him. This is going to be the making of him.
I think we even say last week like it'd be good if he kept it till like the very last day or something like that.
Yeah,
because then it's coming.
And he could go through such a huge development in that time.
Because then you got, like you say, if it's been a bit slow now, but it won't matter if you ramp it up as he moves on. But now it's
like this huge impatient crap that if you decide that you
impatient crap. All right. It's really impatient crap. It's just like
it's all a bit sideways. But if they wanted to take the briefcase off him because they thought he was a bit shit, why not just?
Do you think that's what it is then? Do you think that's what's happened?
I really don't know.
Do you think that?
Yeah, I think that.
What's the point otherwise?
Why they've lost faith?
Why do you think you've lost faith in? Why do you think all of a sudden you think no, he's not the guy?
Vince woke up one morning and went, I don't like him.
Because I know.
Why though? Why would you? Why?
Well, I don't think he has been booked right. I know you said you think he has been booked okay, but it depends on how much. There are two sides of it. There's how much he's booked and how much he does with what he's given. and I think he has been a little bit on the boring side with what he's been given. And the booking has had him lose a few more matches than I would have liked. There's no harm in him going out and whether he cheats to win or just give him some jobbers, like a couple of times a month, and let him just walk through some.
He should have done that a bit more than he did, definitely.
They haven't actually had him come off looking strong, I don't think.
But do you think then? Because I thought he was going to win, and I thought he should have won the IC title from Ambrose when he was having a thing with him.
At Mania.
Yeah, it was Mania, and then
he totally should have won that.
And he should have won, and I thought he was gonna because he'd done that quite well. I remember thinking, and it was almost as if they changed their mind again with that. Like, well, we're doing something with him. We'll put him in this feud with Dean, who's popular.
Yeah.
And if he wins that off him, then we can do a little bit of a thing, and then he'll be the IC champ. That's pretty good. And then it was like, and it seemed obvious that he was going to win, and then he didn't, and it was almost like, oh, if they just woke up on that morning and gone, oh, actually, no, we don't like him. Has the same thing happened again, where they get so far and they shit themselves and go, oh, actually, no.
I don't actually know what happened with that, but they got demoted to the pre-show, didn't they?
Yeah.
At the last minute.
And they put on that really boring short shit match.
Because they just suddenly didn't give a shit. And I don't know if the result changed as a result of that. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. He's one of these guys who I think he's quite possibly a Vince guy. He's big. He's an ex-footballer. He's still got.
He ticks off Vince's boxes, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got something of the look. He's got long hair. All this shit. But is he actually any good? Has he got anything to bring?
I think if you had him as like a mid-carder guy, if you'd give him the IC title or whatever, I think he'd do fine at that and keep him at that level for the rest of the year, maybe into the next year as well, and then see. But you got to give him something. Otherwise, you're never going to know, are you?
He shouldn't have won the Money in the Bank.
It was surprising that he did, but
there were other people in that match that it would have been surprising. I think we kind of broke it down into different categories. I think with Ziggler in it, Ziggler had already won it, and then there were a few other top guys, and then there was middle guy, and then was it him and Zayn, who we were thinking they're the bottom.
I wanted Kevin Owens to win it. I remember saying that.
Yeah.
And put the title in it and all that kind of stuff and something different. But I agree that he wasn't really any of our first choices to win it, but when he did,
it made sense.
Fine, okay, let's go with it then. If this is what you've decided, fine, let's go with it. Let's do something with him. And they shit themselves again. Hopefully he'll get sorted though, because he's not my favourite in any sense of the word, but I feel like he deserves at least a go.
Yeah, and he needs to give him a chance. If it doesn't work,
Anyway, I'll say Corbin. Who are you saying?
I can't. Just John Cena.
I'm saying Cena as well. I don't know. It's too hard to call.
Next match. We're getting quite into these matches, aren't we? We're talking quite a lot. Sorry, everyone. I know you didn't tune into this podcast to hear us talk.
About wrestling. It's fucking gold, this. Let's do Randy Rusev.
I've not got much to say about this.
Versus Orton. Sorry.
If that was his new gimmick, he got over handsome Rusev and just became Randy Rusev.
No, after Rusev
and he keeps trying it on with Lana, and she's like, "No, Rusev."
After Rusev beats Randy at SummerSlam, he can then do some Bray Wyatt thing where he kind of absorbs him a little bit. Randy Orton can go away for a while, and then Rusev can just call himself Randy Rusev.
That would be awful. This is very much a filler match. I'd actually put this on the pre-show.
I feel so bad for Rusev.
Yeah, I feel really bad for Rusev. I don't see the point in this at all. I don't in the sense that it is a big name match who he is going up against, and people still cheer Randy Orton quite a lot. But there's no story, there's no build-up, there's nothing really. There's no stakes for it, there's nothing really to it. I don't care who wins. I hope Rusev wins just because I like Rusev, but...
When was the last time Rusev was a face? Has he actually ever been?
No, he's never been a face.
Never officially face.
But I thought...
He's done some face things and some really funny things.
But was that kind of just an in-between?
Yeah, he went a bit tweener, yeah.
Just let him go.
But I don't mind if he's a heel. I don't care if he Rusev Matchka and he does all that kind of stuff. But give him something to sink his teeth into and have a bit of a go at. There's no I need an opponent. I'll be your opponent. Okay. That's all it is.
He's one of hardly any who I genuinely believe can do funny and be a badass. Kevin Owens is probably the only other one.
Yeah.
Who can do funny, but then also be believable as someone who's going to kick some ass.
Yeah,
So
can be vicious with afterwards.
Just whatever, however they do this match, Rusev needs to win it clean, and then they need to do that from now on. They need to have Rusev be a goofball who kicks the living shit out of everyone.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they'll do that.
And then Randy Orton needs to go away.
Yeah.
Go away till Survivor Series.
Go,
fine, just
go
a
to
couple
NXT.
months, I think. It's
Go to
fine.
NXT.
Yeah, Randy does nothing for me whatsoever.
Chop his leg off 205 live. Sorted.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Is that who
pretty
made
sure.
the weight cut? Chopping his leg off.
Probably wouldn't be enough, actually.
Yeah, there you go. Next match, nothing to say really.
Yeah. Who's in?
Rusev.
Winning?
I hope it's Rusev. Yeah, Rusev.
I'm going to say Randy. I don't want it. That's the way it is. Tag Team Championships of SmackDown. New Day versus Usos.
This will be a good match.
Usos won they won clean, pretty much, on SmackDown this week.
They did.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's not going to be against the same two people. He said something on SmackDown
Definitely not.
Yeah, because Usos went in and said, come on, Daniel Bryan. Nice little funny backstage bit with Daniel Bryan about being rappers and stuff like that. Pretty funny again. It was like a talking smack with Usos and Daniel Bryan, which was good. They said, look, in fairness, who are we going to face? Because there's three of them. You need to tell us who it's going to be. And he said it's Big E and Woods.
And Woods, yeah.
And they can do that because they pinned Kofi and hurt his leg in SmackDown, so he might have a bit of he might be hobbling around a bit maybe. I think this will be a really good match. I'm surprised they haven't done a bit of a stipulation with it. Maybe I thought they might do something.
Something a bit different.
Didn't have to be a big thing, a 2 out of 3, or it could have been a ladder maybe.
Could have even had just like a submission match, just to do
just
something
to
different.
make it a bit different.
5-minute Iron Man.
0-0. Yeah, but I think it'll be a good match. I like both of. Well, I like the Usos more than New Day now.
New Day are coming back for me.
Are they?
They've become like a mainstay talent where I'm not expecting huge laughs out of them every single time, but they've got so much chemistry between the three of them, and they're so well set. You know what they're doing.
I really liked them in the match more than what they said beforehand. I actually liked the match because they were like saying, "Oh, it's the speedy version of New Day," and they were like going after it one after the other and flipping and kicking and all that kind of stuff. It was like it's almost like a new tag team because you don't usually see them two together, do you?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like they've kind of reinvented and matured.
Yeah.
So I'm all over again. This is why I was happy to see them win the belts again.
I don't mind winning the belts. I just don't want it to be at the expense of the Usos, where they get kind of pushed back again. Because I have really liked the Usos for the last couple of months.
I think they're doing okay from this feud, though.
Yeah, they are.
I think even if they do, I'm going to say it straight away, I think New Day will win. If the Usos do lose at SummerSlam, still think there could be like a beat down by the Usos afterwards or something that will keep them looking strong. Still be a great match.
Yeah, I do worry. Yeah, I think New Day will win, but I do worry what the Usos do after this. So I don't think there's another face team that will be his.
But if we're having a bit of a shake-up, then maybe they might do something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Even I'd keep them on SmackDown, throw them onto Raw, and get them feuding with.
Do something else over there. Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
If they stay together. I don't know. I don't know if it is as obvious as New Day winning straight.
I don't think it's obvious. I just think that's what will happen.
I'll say Usos then to be different.
Okay. You reckon New Day as well? Okay then. The other tag team championships: Cesaro and Sheamus versus Seth Rollins.
Shield Part 2.
Shield Part 2.
2.0.
It's more like I can't come up. Can I do the decimal in that speed? Probably not. Like Shield 0.6.
Oh right.
It's just 2/3 of the Shield.
Okay.
Ish. 0.6666.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really. I don't like this. Don't like it. I didn't like it on Raw when they were doing it. What you put your hand in, I'll take it away. You put your hand in, take it away. Put your hand in, take it away. It got very, very silly for me. And then it just became this really
Say gay.
No, I was going to say a bit homoerotic, to be honest with you. Just because it was just a bit, I don't know, and why are we doing it? Why are we doing this hard? It was like when DX came back right at the end, and it was like, yeah, it was funny, but it wasn't anywhere. It was just like a pale imitation of something that used to be good. And if you're doing it like with, it's like an NWO as well, when they came back and they did the red and the white, and everybody who's anyone was in it, and things like that. It's not the same. It's never going to be as good as it was before. Do something different. If you're going to redo the Shield, wait a few more years and you have all three of them do it, despite what Roman's like. Yeah. You do all three, because this is just having the two of them.
We've booked this before, haven't we?
This is like us having three people doing the podcast, and then it turns out like one leaves and only two do the podcast. It'll just in that case it'll probably be better. But I don't know. It's not gonna.
Well, I've got some balance to say on this, but I want to hear what you think first.
You can like torn. It because you're a big...
No, I'm torn. I really am. Like
Natalie Imbruglia.
Lying naked on the floor.
I was while watching it.
I imagine he was, because he was really enjoying himself.
Like,
go on, say it.
A little bit of me got giddy when they put their fists together. A little.
Because you're a child.
Because that's a cool icon. It's a cool iconic thing that they do.
If all three of them had done it,
and but there's a part of me that thinks, why is Dean going with this? And it just doesn't seem, unless they're going for the heel turn, it just doesn't seem logical that Dean would trust him.
Because it's been 4 years and get over it sort of thing is what the marketing has, isn't it? And he has helped him quite a few times. He's helped him out. That's what it is.
I don't know. It's just
that was the conflict.
There's something just missing out of it that's selling it for me, and I want to believe. I want to really get into it because I love the show. I love Seth Rollins, and there's just an element missing. And I don't. Maybe Tim could provide what that element is. I'll frame it in a different way, but there's just something missing that's not getting me
involved. Is it the fact that Roman
involved.
Reigns isn't there, then?
No, I was going to say, in balance, all of this depends mostly on what comes afterwards, but I think they should have just done this slightly differently. I was in and out of that segment where... Well, I was just thinking, this is cheesy, this is bad, but more importantly, I'm thinking it's ill-timed. I'm thinking they haven't given us a reason, like an important reason for these two getting back together. If either one of them needed a tag team partner, either one of them could have gone and got someone else. So I'm not going to tell them that, I'm not going to waste time trying to figure out how they could have done it. But if you just add some consequence and add it and make it more of a drama, so that they're really reluctant from the beginning, and they're bumping against each other and they're fighting all the time. But then because they're both awesome, they win matches. Now they've got a championship match. Have all these fucking gay mo's fisting each other for weeks. Remove all of that, and then when we get to SummerSlam, don't know if this will happen, but let's say they win the belts, then they're all fired up and pumped at the end, and then it's just almost like they have the thought at the same time. Then they put the fists in, 2 seconds, walk away. Then it's cool. Then from this point on, looking at the variety of talent at the top, looking at the fact that the main event, the big guy is the smallest guy in the match, no one likes him. Between SummerSlam and WrestleMania, you eventually, again, give us a decent storyline and you get the Shield back together. And because I was thinking, it's been a long time and people want it to be longer, but I'm thinking it's possibly something missing from Raw right now. You don't have a power faction. If you brought the Shield back and had them be the mature version of what they were, then I think it would be cool. I think the timing could be right. But yeah, I do agree with you. A little bit homoerotic, a little bit aren't we the bestest bros in the whole world? And I love you.
Yeah,
love
maybe
you
it's
too.
a bit too feel good. Maybe that's the bit I don't like.
And it's supposed to be cool.
If they're getting back together, they need to be badasses.
I love a feel good ending. In the end, feel good's brilliant. Like when Gargano and Ciampa finally won the tag belts. Feel good. That was why we picked that one as a great match over the ones where they lost, because we had that at the end. I like that, and I'm not averse to them two having that feel-good moment. Yeah, like you say, at SummerSlam, if they both just put the fists in, that's a better moment because it's on the big pay-per-view after they've just won the titles. I think they will win them.
Yeah.
But again, they've shown us that bit before SummerSlam. They've done it to sell us on SummerSlam. But how good would it have been if they'd done it at SummerSlam? Again, would have been. That's the moment you win the title. You put them together. They're a bit unsure. You can go into SummerSlam thinking, are they going to get along? Is there a heel turn coming for one of them? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
But now you can't. Now they're best pals.
Yeah.
And
they were never best pals. That wasn't the point.
That's the thing. Like, and with a feel good thing, you can still have a feel good ending or a feel good story, and have it be cool. And this wasn't cool in any way for me.
No.
With two of arguably two of the coolest guys in the company who people love.
Yeah.
Not being very cool in any way. The crowd would pop in for it when they were putting their hands in. Oh, yeah. But
I feel like
it got a bit silly.
As good as that audience was, they were a little bit too much.
I didn't mind it because you don't always get it, but
yeah,
it just went a bit much for me. I think they will win the belts as well, and they will do the fist in and all that kind of stuff. Like you say though, I am hoping that it means one of them's going to turn on the other one a little bit down the line. I think you've got to do that. I won't keep them as this tag team.
This feel-good nostalgia act.
No, I won't do it.
No.
It's crap. It'll be crap after a couple of weeks.
Yeah, like they need to. If they're gonna reunite, they need to do it as heel because that's what was cool about them. They came down and beat people up and helped them through tables.
I don't think they'll do that though. They won't go heel, both of them. No way.
No, but
it'll be one of them, and then that'll be the feud. I think.
Yeah, that's
and
what.
It
That's
should
where I
be
hope
Dean
this is
Ambrose
going.
as well.
It should be. Yeah, it should absolutely because that's a completely different.
Yeah.
Dynamic.
If you go that direction, then you have to have them lose at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think they'll win.
Well, that could be interesting.
How
They've won
long-
the tag belts, but Dean just.
I wouldn't be
stabs
surprised.
him in the back.
I think I won't be surprised if they won it at SummerSlam. Rematch very next night, and they lose it. I won't be surprised if that happens at all.
Okay.
I think they'll win because otherwise, what's the point really for it? I think you've got to win it and then somehow lose it again.
Yeah, maybe. Dean wakes up and goes, "Oh, I can look myself in the mirror."
Taking me out again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remain hopeful, just because the more I think about it, the more it feels like the timing's right. I pray they do it the right way, but I want them to win the belts at SummerSlam, keep it for however long, and eventually lead into a reunion with Roman as well. Because Roman and Dean fucking need it.
Mm.
But if you put at the moment, if you put Roman with anything, it's the virus.
He's not. He doesn't have to be the main guy.
Use that?
Here's the scenario I'm going to throw at you.
Okay.
Seth and Dean win.
Yeah.
Let's get the titles back.
Brilliant.
I've seen them for 2 for that.
This is a bad idea.
Go on.
Fatal 4-way.
Go on. The
Have Roman win. Screw Brock.
I fucking cheer for that.
You know he's getting booed out of the building.
That'd be fucking brilliant.
That would be.
I really
that
like
would be
that.
a heel turn.
I really like it. I really like it. Really like it.
All the belts at the end.
That's the best idea you've had
Right.
for a long, long time.
Right, I'm out. Thank you, everyone. It's been great.
I really like that.
It's been great. It's been
Loved
great.
it. Loved it.
I'm off.
Here's-
Cheers, YouTube.
Top guy out.
It's okay.
Here's one thing I add to it.
No, just leave it.
No,
Let it be.
it's a good thing. Because we fucking hate the dun we have Sierra, Hotel, etc.
Indio, Echo, Lima,
as they come out.
No, you have that as the closing music when
But
they all
that
hold the titles up.
They
That's
never
what-
had they never had the police language thing at the end. It's only ever for the entrance.
Yeah, he was at the start.
I'd have it to finish it off. I think that's how you finish SummerSlam. They hold up the tag belt. Roman holds up the Universal one,
okay,
and you wear it, and then it's the dinner, and everyone just go, "Oh, I'm going." I mean, if that's the end of SummerSlam, I will go.
It's possible. There is
I would really like that to happen. That'd be really good.
nothing between now and the moment you get there is going to change the fact that
That could
is
happen.
possible.
Yeah, true.
So that's a big thing.
I need it. The percentage-wise of that happening, for me to go, because I'm sold on that. That's a really good idea.
It's between.
If anyone who writes is actually listening and watching,
or you know anybody who writes,
just fucking do that.
The percentage of that happening, okay, possibility between 0 and 0 point nothing.
Okay.
It won't happen because it's too fucking good.
I think that's really good.
Think of how they've put the two of them back together so far. Do you think they're actually capable of doing something as cool as that?
No.
But
they need.
That's how you do it.
That's how you get them all healed. That's how I said last week. We'll talk about this in a bit, but I said last week it's Reigns or Brock at the end. That would be your answer. Do you want another match?
That's the best way of doing it. Yeah.
Let's go for Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. We've already seen this match on Raw. We don't need to talk about it.
No, we haven't.
No,
I've not
we
seen
saw
them.
Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor.
Yeah, that's not what you're going to
There's
see.
another match booked at Summerslam.
Yes, the same move set. He's
Fucking
just got
brilliant.
paint on him.
His
Brilliant.
entrance is cool.
Oh, it's so good.
And we can all do this.
We can, with him dressed as a demon.
Oh yeah,
That
he
was
does
for
that.
YouTube,
He does that on Raw
Not
every
dressed as
week.
a demon.
No,
No,
not with some,
but-
not some with hair extensions in.
But he does that thing with the lights and his arms out, and he does that. So if that's the thing you're excited about, just watch Raw. It already happened.
But I could do it with him as part of the club.
So you can go and enjoy SummerSlam.
I
I
would.
think I've seen this match on Raw, so I don't care.
I don't think you'll see the same match though. You'll see a completely different match from them. It'll be a really good match because they're both really good wrestlers, and it wasn't as long as the match at SummerSlam will be either. So I reckon you get in.
I
I think
12 matches. This is possibly one of the least consequence.
6 hours long, the whole show. I think everyone's getting a fair amount of time here.
What were you going to say?
I think the crux of your problem with this is that
You don't
Demon
like Finn Balor.
Balor is not
Any different
from
from
Finn Balor, and
And
his moveset.
He
doesn't
should
change.
have different.
And
some different
you
moves.
should have some you should have maybe a different finisher or a different.
Who's to
sort
say
of
though?
intensity.
This time because we've only seen the Demon once
Yeah.
since he's been on the main roster. And he's been away for a while. Who's to say you won't see a couple of
Yeah,
different?
there's no reason why he couldn't.
no reason why I
And
couldn't.
I hope they do go on that well, but yeah.
It's very important for me that he does something very different with the demon thing. I think even more so because it has to absolutely blow my mind, not just be good. Because I think Finn Balor's boring, and I've said this on.
You do say that.
No,
every
I've
time.
said this a lot recently. He hasn't done anything at all since he's been on the main roster that's been entertaining in any way for me. It's just so ordinary. And I know it's not a popular opinion, but
Don't agree in any way. But yeah,
it's,
entitled to it. I don't agree with that. I really like it.
yeah.
You don't think he'll have a good match though? You don't think he'll have a good match?
I think for what it'll be, just if it's just two guys with characters in a match, it will be a very good match.
I hope they
There'll be a
don't.
lot of things to play off each other with.
I hope they don't go silly. I hope they don't go
WrestleMania,
WrestleMania silly. I hope we don't see any of that. I don't mind a little bit of let's go out. There he is. I don't mind a bit of teleportation. That's fine.
It's fine.
Nothing silly, but the teleportation's fine. I don't mind a bit of that because I think that plays up to the characters, and it is always good when lights go off, lights come on. Where are they? Something like that.
Is Bray allowed to have a bucket of paint?
No, the paint shouldn't be allowed.
I think he
just,
used the whole tin on that.
just,
so I
just,
don't think he's
just
got any
immediately, like the big fuck up with that was they could have had it be a really weird thing. At the end of the match, the lights go out. When they come back on, Balor's in the middle of the ring, covered in shit. Then it's like, what is this stuff? Like, yeah, it's paint, but
Gangrel's back.
but
more.
but
That'd
it's
have been amazing.
it could be. It could, you might think it's blood, you might think it's something else, but either way, it's just what the fuck just happened while the lights went out. As it was, Bray was just there with a bucket of paint and poured it on Balor.
They should have done it brewed bloodbath way as
Yeah.
opposed to
It was
that
just
way.
fucking funhouse slime. Silly.
You wanted actual blood.
Something that looked like it if you're going to imply it, or don't do it because it's shit. And also, if you're going to have them do a thing like that, then just do the angle. You don't need to have the match because you're going to have the match on Sunday. And at every spare moment at the moment, everyone who goes in the ring is like, you should subscribe to the WWE Network. And by the way, this is a cool thing I'm saying.
That's the business, though, isn't it?
Corporate bullshit. Even Heyman had to do it.
No, but I like that. Heyman does it in a kind of like sports promoter
He does.
kind
He's got
of
his
way.
own way.
Like he's a boxing manager
Yeah, he does
almost.
try and
You
do
know,
it like that. Who do you think is going to win the match? The Demon Finn Balor or Bray Wyatt?
Demon, easy. Bray Wyatt doesn't win matches. Come on. They've given this token win. That'll do him for 3 months. That win.
Yeah, Balor wins.
Yeah, because the Demon's a
Demon
separate
doesn't
entity, and the Demon doesn't. Yeah, the Demon doesn't. I was okay with the match. I get.
Last time he did the Demon
I
was
get the
SummerSlam
thinking
last year.
behind it. Yeah, I get the thinking behind it. Oh, he can't beat him on his own, so he needs to just tap it and then an extra something else. Yeah, I was okay with it.
Yeah.
Next one.
That's the t-shirt, isn't it?
I'm probably going to say Balor to win as well because it just looks like it's going that way. But, yeah. Let's go for one of the women's matches. Naomi Natalia for the SmackDown's Women's Championship.
Sorry, I actually fell asleep.
I'd put this on the pre-show if this was me.
I'd put this before the pre-show in the car park. It would be...
What time? Because I'll fucking
Fuck
go to this.
See? Sold it straight away. You put this before the show as people are coming in.
You remember that match Ken Shamrock and Steve Blackman had in the car park?
Yeah.
And they just all had the cars shining lights on them, like the APA and stuff.
It was cool.
Cool. Do that.
That'd be a good match.
I don't care about this match in any way.
No.
I don't see why they've done this as the women's title match. Not when you've got people like Charlotte and Becky Lynch on your brand, on your roster, on SmackDown, and to not include them in.
And not
it's
even.
It's looking like the only women's match from SmackDown.
They're
on
not
the
even
show.
on the show.
No.
It's a long show. They'll probably throw something extra on there. But
Are they going to do something like them two against Tamina?
Well, I don't think
Lana?
they're doing anything. Well, because of circumstances, I don't think they're doing anything with Charlotte.
No,
now,
she probably wouldn't.
We didn't have them circumstances 2 months ago when they were booking SummerSlam and thinking about it. So
it's just I don't care about Naomi and Natalia. Like this week, Natalia beat Becky Lynch. Obviously, she had to going into that match. That makes Becky look shit, which I don't think's right. And Naomi came out and did guest commentary. She was awful.
Yeah, she's
awful. Like they were trying so hard to. Like they were literally like they were asking her questions, and she was giving like one-line answers. There was no chat. She was like, "Are you looking forward to SummerSlam?" Yes, I am looking forward to SummerSlam. Who's going to win? What have you got planned? I am going to win. Stuff like it was just so. I will be feeling the glow. It was stuff like that, and she's so bad. And even on, I know it's only a SmackDown one, but she came out to do commentary with the full fucking entrance, arsing about with the stupid belt. Fuck off.
It's so for kids, isn't it? It's
because they've given her all the glowy and the shit belt, the toy belt and stuff. I think we've said she's not going to fucking lose for a while. Do you think that's why they've given her an obvious...
I think she's going to lose at SummerSlam.
You think she'll lose it?
Yeah.
I can't see them.
Because they've fucked up the Baron Corbin one. I think they're going to have to cash in the other one now.
Oh, okay, but...
okay, in that case then.
Yeah. I think she'll beat Natalia and then Miss Money in the Bank will come out and I will fucking pop my socks off.
Yeah, that's what saves this.
And she's got hometown advantage there as well. I know that's not what happens, but that'll get a massive pop after a very boring match that no one cares about.
Do you think Naomi will win, though?
I think Naomi will beat Natalia.
Naomi will win.
And Naomi wins, Carmella cash in.
I'm hoping.
So I'm not pretty sure.
Ellsworth comes out and is the one that either really causes distraction or really does interferes in some sort.
I think he'll do something.
I mean, I'm not talking like man on woman violence, but
no. Ellsworth woman violence. I think he'll definitely get involved.
But he does something first that then allows Carmella just to skip down almost and just go.
He does some distraction.
Yeah.
And then she smacks her with a briefcase and then something.
Okay. Yeah, I'm into that.
So I'll take it off the pre-show, put it on the main show. Thanks to Carmella.
Yeah.
Well, Scott.
What do we go for next? US Championship. AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, special guest referee of Shane McMahon.
I hope it's not a screwy finish this match. I'm done with screwy finishes.
It's building towards one, though,
isn't it?
With what's been going on.
I don't know. I think they might just be kind of implying it. I'd like to see them just suggest it a few times. It just kind of get tense. And like if either of AJ or Owens gets in McMahon's face a few times and everyone's like, no, don't do it. And Shane's like warning them back, fuck off, or I'll just disqualify you. I don't give a shit.
I hope that's not how it ends, though. Where
I
someone's
don't
like,
think
he
it will.
pushes them and then they roll them up and then it's over. Something like that.
No, I don't think it will.
Because it's flattered to deceive on quite a few occasions, these two, in a match, I think. Like, each match they've had has been... Everyone's gone, oh, this could be match of the night, this will be good, this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was alright, but we fucked that up and things like that. In theory, I'm going to say it again, this should be one of, if not the match of the night, as a match. And
Shane should help to tell a good story.
This should be as good as Styles and Cena last year, I think.
Will it though?
Should be better.
The last couple of matches haven't been great.
Nope.
And for many reasons we talked about, and it's been a bit disappointing.
Yep.
Like, these two, was it the Rumble? They squared off a bit, and I was just like, oh, can't wait for this feud. This is going to be amazing. And it's just been disappointing.
Yeah, it really has.
I don't think it's going to be remembered as a classic feud.
I think it doesn't help that it's for the United States Championship, because I don't think either of them give a shit.
I don't think that matters, because Kevin Owens tried to do the drop face of America now, though, obviously. So it wouldn't make sense for him to get it back and start it up again. Really. I think AJ Styles is going to keep it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm hopeful more than anything that this is awesome, really. Yeah. And Shane, they've added a little thing with it with Shane to make it stand alone. So I think, yeah, why not?
Just no screwy finishes, please.
Make it good. Make it as good as we all know it should be.
Define screwy though, because I mean, someone could win by cheating, but what do you mean screwy? Do you mean actually a mistake?
No, just like you said, like Adam said, Shane pushes Owens and AJ rolls him up and he counts.
It's a bit of a cop out in it. I don't mind a cheat and then a finisher to win and something like that, but just something that's like when he got his foot stuck in the table, like that's it. I don't want to see that now. I've seen that. I've seen the weird botched up suplexy thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to see anything like that. I don't mind if there's a definitive winner.
Yeah.
And I don't mind.
But that just be a definitive. I beat you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tough shit. Yeah, I cheated. So. Who do you think's going to win? I'm going to say AJ Styles.
Yeah, I'm going to say AJ too.
Yeah, I think that they've messed it up playing pass the parcel with the championship because they don't care anymore.
Yeah, I think they just need to have a good match and just go separate ways.
I would much rather if this had just been a match and have no championship involved in it. You could still have them have the special guest referee because they just fucking hate each other, and it's the ref fucked up the last one they did. It's of no consequence. I'll say AJ as well. In fact, did you both say AJ? I'll say Owens. Another match. Another women's match. Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks.
So this is the match that you probably realised they should have had.
Yeah, Bayley wasn't faking, was she?
I don't think she's faking, no. As far as I know, she's not faking it. But it has seemed quite convenient how she, for some reason, we didn't think she was going to win it and go to Summerslam, and she did, and everyone was a bit like, well, that's ridiculous. She shouldn't have won. And then, lo and behold, the week after, she's out of it. I think it's a bit fishy myself.
Ooh.
I'm just saying, I don't know. I like Bayley.
I agree.
I like her as a person. I don't like what she's become. And I think what they should do is use this as the catalyst for a change in Bayley, I think. And I texted you, I think, was it Monday, as a group, and I said there's a chance for them to do something with Bayley here if they do it right. And that's because on Raw, they fucking booed her.
Oh, they booed the shit out of her.
They booed the shit out of her on Raw, and I would use that as fuel to the fire, and I think she should do something now where you booed me. I thought we were friends. I gave you hugs, you give me boos. All that kind of stuff. Boos like boo, not like booze, like beer and
like boo words.
Yeah, boo words. I thought they were saying boo words. I think they should, and the fact that they've chosen Sasha, and everyone wanted the Sasha heel turn for a while and all that. If you do it the other way round,
never seen heel Bayley. I'm well into
I think that would be really good. I think you should do that. No one would see it coming. If people want to boo her, let them boo her.
Don't know if
that's what they did with The Rock.
I don't know if her promos are good enough to be a heel though.
But I reckon she could do it and not say as much.
I'll get a mouthpiece.
She could become a Paul Heyman girl. Don't do that.
Oh, you align with Nia Jax. Nia Jax is okay on the mic.
Yeah, so that's what I'd do with Bayley now, and I think this was the match that was most obvious to do anyway. It made sense to do Bliss versus Banks. It's the better match. They've had more of a thing going on. They haven't just fought each other like Bayley and Alexa Bliss had done with all that bullshit.
You at least have a triple threat, but if it's one-on-one, you don't have Bayley in it.
No. She might be and she might not be. I'd use this as an opportunity.
Sasha will have a good entrance.
She will?
There'll probably be a car involved.
Do you think?
Yeah, she's got a car,
Maybe.
Maybe.
And last year, she came out and she lost to Charlotte. Do you remember that one? I was fucking fuming. I was there with my legit boss t-shirt on,
crying,
giving it everything when she came out.
Legit.
And then she lost. I was fucking fuming. I think she'll win this time.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think she should win. Bliss has had it for a while now.
Yeah, there's no one apart from Nia. There's no one really for left to feud with. There's a heel champ.
Nah,
I'm not decent enough anyway.
no. I'd let Banks win it. I've liked Alexa Bliss's run. I liked her sat on a little throne on Monday. Thought she looked cool. But yeah, let Sasha Banks win.
You could do the Alexa feud with Nia without the belt.
Could do.
You could have it when Nia tries to help fucks it up.
Yeah.
And then their feud goes on from there.
I think you could do that.
So.
Question and really, really outside chance just for the fun of the conversation. Carmella.
No, that's silly.
Because she's not on that brand, and that's not what the contract says, and that's not.
Read the small print.
Have you read the contract?
No, she was on. No chance. Absolutely no chance.
There's no contract in there.
I don't know whether it was Corbin or Carmella. The week after Money in the Bank, I think it was Corbin said something like, I need to look into it because I don't know if it's both. Words to that effect. Said it on Talking Smack. Yeah, definitely.
Maybe that's what cost him the briefcase.
well, maybe.
Don't fucking say that, Baron.
But
we'll take that.
That's why Talking Smack got cancelled as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're talking about a fiction thing here, and both of you are just saying no.
No, because they've not implied it.
And if it came out,
would they ever do that?
And I wouldn't do
because that's storytelling.
God. Yeah, if she came out and somehow cashed it in that one, I wouldn't do that. Oh my God, I'd do that. Well, this makes no fucking sense.
Yeah,
I'd do that. I'd do that version of it.
You
mean like Corbin? What happened on SmackDown?
No, but I said that
fucking sense.
No, but I rinsed it for it. So it was shit.
But I'm not saying will they do it or you like it. I'm saying will it happen?
No.
Could it happen?
No.
Bad storytelling.
No.
Everything's bad storytelling. That's not justification.
Rules of storytelling.
No,
but they fail at all the time.
If you introduce a knife in Act 1,
at some point you got to use a knife.
Yeah, you can't just have a knife show up in Act 3 all of a sudden.
No, if you've got a knife in Act 1, you can't have someone shoot somebody in the face at the end. You've got to use the knife.
I feel like you guys don't watch wrestling.
I feel like you don't. You know what show she's on, right? It's never going to happen. It's no chance. Zero.
I'm not saying I want this or I think it could happen either, but I think the reason you're both dismissing it isn't... It's not strong enough.
What reason do you think we're saying that it won't happen?
Because she's on the other show.
That's it. That's the exact reason.
I think
there's some basic storytelling rules that even the WWE go, no, we can't do that. We can't get away with that.
Because we've never had an invasion storyline.
But no,
this wouldn't be an invasion.
It's all fiction. It could be something new.
Well, yeah, I could come out and shit in the ring and it'd make it part of the story.
Right, but I mean, what could happen right at the start of the show? You just see Carmella standing there with Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan. Don't hear what they're saying. You just see them having the conversation. Right.
You've introduced the acting knife one.
Oh, it's called storytelling, is it?
No, but now you haven't just said she comes out and cashes in. Now you're making a story for it.
All I said was, in this match, Carmella.
No,
that was all I said.
I'm still saying no. No way.
That's okay. I'm just to say your justification for dismissing it
that escalated.
No, No, it's not. It's the strongest, most perfect, obvious way to dismiss it.
You were writing it.
No. for the WWE universe. There is no way she is doing that. And if she comes out, nobody's going to cheer it. Everyone,
it doesn't have to be good.
No, everyone will go, this makes no fucking sense.
Correct. Doesn't mean they won't do it.
They won't do it.
Just because it won't make sense.
If I had £1 billion, if I had a genuine £1 billion, I would say no chance. They won't do it.
You at least see my point, though.
No, I don't get it.
It's fiction. They can do whatever they want.
They won't do it.
I go back to that. I'm going back to the basics of storytelling.
Yeah.
That you can't.
That they ignore all the time.
They don't know. They don't do something that's that ridiculous. I don't think it doesn't make any sense. That's like Baron Corbin coming out and cashing it in on Brock Lesnar with no previous. When we all know he won it on a SmackDown only show.
Yeah.
It's a blue briefcase. There's been no hint, reference in any way to crossovers or being allowed to do this.
That's the point.
So,
all I said was like Carmella, as in Carmella discuss. So
no, you said Carmella as in Carmella's going to cash it in on the Raw match.
right, but I didn't say that. I said later on. Maybe something happened earlier on.
If they'd done something a month ago,
It's a 6-hour show. They've got time.
I'm trying to think of a TV show.
I agree. It would be bullshit. By the way, I'm not actually making a case for it.
I'm trying to think of a TV show that's introduced something at the last minute just to fit a story. I feel like that's what
it happens and it's shit all the time.
It'd be like, yeah, and I'm sure loads of TV shows have done it. It'd be like someone just showing up. Sorry, Tim, you're not going to get this right. It'd be like someone showing up at Game of Thrones next week and go, oh yeah, I can bring down the wall with this magic horn.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
If they'd gone with this magic horn, YouTube only, and I'd pop for that. It would be like...
Because everyone would just like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah,
you can't just introduce something at the
that's
last
a good way
minute.
of putting it.
How about Michael Schofield's not dead?
Exactly.
It's bullshit, but they're running with it, and they made an entire like an extra season.
How well is that series done?
It's fucking awful.
And
they've done it.
Liked it.
And they've done
everyone switched off.
But they made
no,
it.
but I think I'm going to give the WWE writers some modicum of respect.
Because they've done so much to deserve this.
I think there's some sort of fake. I think they would just dismiss it and go, no, we can't actually get away with that.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't do it.
Had to open up the idea.
That was very lively.
You did. It fucking annoyed me. Well played.
Well, no, I think it's worth discussing. I think because we've now only got one Money in the Bank across the entire company. So if there's some, I don't know, it would be fucking awful. I'm with you on that. But nothing's impossible.
But the problem they've had anyway with that, I think, is, and I don't mind the fact that them being on one show and being able to cash it on an either, but I don't see why the Money in the Bank ladder matches can't have 3 people from one in, 3 people from the other.
I hope they do that next year.
Did they not used to do that at one point?
Yeah, it used.
Well, it was
not
kind
now
of
it started.
It was before the current
Like,
brand
why,
split.
and then why can't you have either 2 on one show, or just say if you win the briefcase, this is the rule for the briefcase. You can cash in on any champion
because the story
at any time, and let them invade and go on different shows and do. That'd be really good.
Because
why
you
not
could have
do
people
that?
on Raw and SmackDown, qualifying matches and that kind of thing, and
you can make it a bit of a thing.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah,
and then whoever wins it has got a year-long storyline to do whatever they want. That would be a case of, here you go, here's the ball, run with it now, go off and do loads of stuff.
And I would definitely have someone cash in on something other than a world title. So IC, US or tag.
Open up the possibilities.
Definitely.
I wouldn't do that.
It depends who it is. I mean,
because you're going to go for the big belt.
Yeah, who gives a fuck about small one?
If you think about it in a logical, if you think about it in a kayfabe way, if you're a sport competitor,
yeah,
you've got an opportunity for any title, you're gonna shoot for the highest one.
I'd have some, if at some point they had someone who's kind of lower to mid card, and they keep coming out and they get faced down by a giant who's current world champion. Like if at some point Enzo's Money in the Bank and Strowman's the champion, he keeps coming out as like, no, I'm alright. And then
Enzo wouldn't, because he gives 0 dimes.
Hypothetically. But then he sees a cool opportunity, just sat there for the Intercontinental Championship when he's never been a champion
People
before.
will shit all over that.
Maybe.
I'd maybe do it in the same match where like one person cashes in and then wins it, and then the other person comes out and cashes in on them who's just cashed out. Just dropping his cash in. Yeah, I think Sasha Banks will win the women's match.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Didn't need to be complete chaos though. It was just a question. As a women's Money in the Bank possibility.
Give me another match, Tim. Don't annoy me this time.
Yeah, I understand. I understand how the order of things work. Jinder versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship. There's one thing I want to say right at the start of this. Carmella.
Just as likely as the last one. Because it doesn't say she has to go for the women's title.
It's on the SmackDown. What's your problem now? It's on the same show.
I am more okay with her going for that than I am about her going for the Raw Women's title. I am. It's on the same show. I don't care about this match. What an awful match.
I don't see it happening, but I fucking hope Nakamura wins it. Jinder will win, but I hope Nakamura wins.
Jinder will win.
You think?
Yeah.
I think it's a... I was going to say it was just shooing for Shinsuke.
He's a shooing for Shinsuke?
Yeah, try saying that. Try saying that 3 times fast.
Try and say it twice for your mouth.
I think Jinder will win.
He's only ever beaten Randy Orton. Only ever beaten Randy Orton.
He's beaten Baron Corbin as well now.
Hey.
I think he'll win. I think he'll keep it. It won't go out last.
No,
so that's not the end of SummerSlam. Don't get me wrong, I think the end of SummerSlam still might piss people off, but I think
it could go out first.
You can hide this they did it was Ziggler versus Ambrose last time, and they just stuck it in the middle, and nobody really gave a shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is going to be very similar because as this time last year, when Shinsuke won the NXT title from Joe, it was popularity I'd not previously seen. People just 70% of the audience had the red T-shirt on, and that's where the singing his theme tune started and all that kind of stuff. And people loved him.
He was hot shit, wasn't he?
Hotter than shit.
Okay.
What's hotter than shit?
Microwave shit.
There you go. And since he's come onto main roster, he's still kind of missing it for me. He's missing a beat. And I don't think he's gonna win. I don't. There's not really been much of a feud built between the two of them. He won the match last week. This week he said, "I will beat you at SummerSlam," and that was
I quite enjoyed the promo this week though.
Jinder's or Shinsuke's?
Nakamura's weird as fuck, but I think
he only said 2 lines.
Yeah, but it's all you need from Nakamura because he's weird.
It's all he can say.
There you go then. All he can do is all he needs to.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I really liked Jinder's. I thought Jinder was great.
Jinder is good. I don't think there's any argument with that anymore.
But the other thing I don't get with Jinder is he's doing all the whole... And he even used the word, he said it himself, you're all xenophobic and all that. He said that himself this week. Great week to choose this storyline, WWE, with what's been going on. I all felt a little bit... but so happy though. Because he has all the bright colours and the flowers, and he was doing some dancing with the Bollywood boys and all that kind of stuff. I thought, what a happy man this is. He was so happy. Fair enough, he wants to speak to his people. Fair enough.
You said it in front of an American crowd, you're just going to make him racist.
It was... But,
God damn you, Indians!
But what are you booing India for? You like Japan? What's wrong with you all? I'm very high pitched there.
I was going to say, only dogs can hear you right now.
It was like... why have you chosen that you like the Japanese guy but not the Indian guy? And what Shinsuke said, like, Jinder was just saying it's the Independence Day for India, that's what's been going on. Brilliant. What's wrong with that? You have 4th of July, fucking hell.
Yeah.
So he had this, and then he said, Shinsuke came out and said, yeah, it's our day this week where I don't know if it was about people who died in the war or something like that. Well, we'll have his day, but we won't have the Indians' day.
It's
a bit off.
Someone on Twitter, and I think it was the guy who does the Botchamania videos, if you've seen that, tweeted, what's the betting that there's a USA chant during this match?
No, but
And
that's
everyone's just like,
probably.
yeah, it's 1 to 12. It's a fucking show.
That's- But maybe if I go and I start that off,
Yes.
Oh, please do. But you have to either record it or Facebook Live it as you do it. Just be like, oh, it's a quiet moment during the match. USA! USA! Oh, that. Think of the hits we get on YouTube for
think
that.
of the hits I'd get in my own face, or just raised up by people. People are like, yeah, this guy, yeah, I'm from England, guys.
Yeah. He's got an NYC card.
Yeah. I'm being ironic. You're all xenophobic cunts.
You should go dressed like Stars and Stripes, head to toe.
It's really bad. It's weird. It's weird for me that they're doing this match. I think, and that promo was weird.
I think this came up as a possibility probably a couple of months ago, if not before that we were thinking it might just be Cena and Jinder. But we thought, wouldn't it actually be a cooler thing to kind of challenge the xenophobia a little bit and have two non-Americans?
I think we did actually say that.
And not a Canadian either, because that's cop out, they're all the same. Sorry. But Japan versus India, they don't need to make it a national thing, but they kind of have now. But that's okay. Let's have a Japan versus India match. That's okay.
Yeah.
But
do you think that in a way they are not trolling the entire country of America, but their fans, and saying, well, look, you're booing for somebody so much because of where he comes from and how he talks and what he looks like. So we'll have somebody who's from another completely different place, who looks completely different, who talks different, who struggles with English more than Jinder does, obviously. But you'll all cheer him. Do you think part of him is like, there you go, you're all fucking stupid?
I don't necessarily think
I'm
that.
being quite serious, I don't know. What do you
I
reckon?
think that's probably maybe a bit of a blunter description of the truth, because I think they are just using this as a solution. I don't know. Surely, if they had this in planning, they wouldn't have done Cena Rusev at the last pay-per-view the way they did.
But people hated that, didn't they? And people were a bit like, this is too much. So do you think as a result of that, they've thought,
hopefully,
let's do this instead? I'm thinking
makes a lot of sense to me.
Who knows? They might have learned something and
Maybe.
got a bit like a sensitivity about it.
Maybe.
It won't by any means
Not
be
being
match of the
complete.
night, but
No,
it'll be alright though. I think.
I'm not that
I
fussed.
don't know how their styles are going to gel.
It's going to be all kicks and slaps and punches.
Yeah, quite a bit of resting, I
I
imagine.
think it's like, you touched on this before, like, basically Nakamura isn't hot as he was a year ago.
No,
And
not even close.
He's not had any decent opponents for a long time. Even his matches against Bobby Roode weren't that great. They told a decent enough story during it. It was acceptable. They weren't on the level of him and Joe.
No.
I reckon he's still building. That he's still finding his space.
Hopefully.
This guy can have great matches though. Just put him with great people.
It's like you said. He could probably get a good match out of these guys, but I don't know what the motivation is to give everything away just yet.
I think you could have a match with pretty much a better in-ring match with pretty much anybody else on the roster would be a better match than this is going to be with Jinder. Like if he was in there with somebody, like, I'm just trying to think who's on SmackDown. If he was facing John Cena at SummerSlam, that would be a great match. AJ Styles, obviously a great match. Kevin Owens,
Great match.
Sami Zayn, whoever all these people. If you do something with any of them, they will have great, phenomenal matches. This is going to be distinctly average, I think.
So do you give him the belt so he can go and defend it against all these people?
This is why I think they're going to give him the belt.
I don't know, but it makes sense for him to get the belt. But I just think because of he's not really done anything yet.
I think that's why he probably needs the belt.
But do you give it somebody who's
never a good time to do
oh,
that,
he's
though.
not quite ready? I don't know.
I think there's enough. I think there's enough talent with Nakamura that you give him the belt and give him a better opponent, he will then catch fire. But he's not really done much.
I do reckon actually the pop you'd get at SummerSlam if Nakamura won.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon it might actually fire him up a little bit.
Yeah, and then like you feed him a decent opponent.
Oh, if
you
he
give
won,
away, and it's
give
not
him Kevin
Jinder.
Owens.
Yeah, and you need to get rid of Jinder. fuck the rematch stuff. If Jinder wants to come back and say, I want my rematch in 3 months' time, like, even if he does a kayfabe injury or someone else comes in and whatever, Khali comes back and says, I want my thanks for helping you.
Yeah.
Just something to take him away.
I don't think Jinder needs the belt anymore. I think Jinder's got himself over enough.
Do you
now.
think?
Yeah, I don't think he does. I think he's got himself over now. He's got the Singh brothers with him, and he's got his gimmick.
I'm not sure.
I think Jinder's established now. I think
he could do with it having it a bit longer himself. But I agree with the fact that if Shinsuke won, then that would get big pop, big reaction. People would get on board again. I think people would be back up for it. Yeah, okay.
Who do we actually think is
I
going to
don't know now. See, I said Jinder at the start, but you've kind of talked me
This is
around.
why we open stuff up.
Yeah.
To confuse you.
Yeah, I'm going to say. No, I'll stick with Jinder, but it is not as cut and dry as I first thought.
What do you reckon?
Carmella. No, I'm just going to stay with Shinsuke still.
Shinsuke.
She went for Shinsuke.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Are you saying?
Fucking hell. I don't know why I go last every time.
It's by time, but then you still don't fucking do it.
I don't mean to.
Get off the fence, come on.
Nakamura.
Okay. Yeah. Next match, please. Tag match. We've had that one. We've had all the tags. This is the last one.
There's only one match left, isn't
there?
Last one, yeah.
Okay.
It's just been announced on Twitter. It's now Fatal 5-Way. It's Carmella versus.
Stop paying attention to Twitter.
Right, it's a Fatal 4-Way. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, Universal Championship.
I think this will be good.
Yeah,
I've come around to the fact that this
thoughts on the build-up. Has it sold it for you?
No, the build-up's been mostly shit.
I don't think it's as been bad as some of the others. I'm all right with quite a lot of it.
Yeah, it's not been as good as it could have been.
It never is it? But like, I think having 4 of them as kind of disguised the fact that it might have been even shitter. If that makes sense. Like if it had just been Brock versus whoever, Braun, say, it would have been very by the numbers, same sort of thing we've seen before.
Ploddy.
You're big, but my client will beat you, and it would have been pull them apart, let them go, and all that kind of stuff. But having the 4 of them and letting them kind of get involved in each other's matches a little bit, with Joe coming in the last man standing match. How good was the chair throw by Braun? By the way, that was really good. And they've just done little things where I think it has just about, for me, sold me on it.
Yeah.
Do we think they've telegraphed the ending a little bit too much?
I did, but now I'm not as sure as I was. I
don't think so. I think there's story dynamics going on between all of them now.
You mean though when he said if we lose, we're going. That was, and when he said that, I was like, you fucking idiots! Why have you said that? Because now obviously that's going to happen because that's what happens.
You know, Mark Henry quit, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't. He didn't.
No storyline on it. He didn't have UFC fight to go off to though, did he?
Yeah, he didn't have John Jones go with him on Twitter.
I reckon. Now all I want is your ending. That's all I want.
Yeah.
And I never thought I'd say that. But as it's gone on, I kind of want Brock to keep it. As it's gone on.
That's what I said last week or the week before.
I know. I think.
It's Lesnar or Reigns.
I think they could do something. I don't know. I don't know why I think that. I've just quite liked Brock for a couple of weeks, which is really weird. I don't know. I can't really explain it.
Is it Heyman? Is it talking Heyman stuff?
Not so much, no, because I did quite like his last one on Monday night.
I feel like they redeemed themselves a little bit after what they said a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and I didn't like that one. It wasn't just that he said we were going. It was the one, that promo and a couple of the ones before, and even the Joe ones just seemed a bit like not Paul Heymanish, because that's wrong, but he's like he's following the same little things in how he delivers things. Like he'll pause on a certain word, or he'll make one word like I think Joey was doing best case scenario, worst case scenario, and he does this thing, and it is clever how he does it because it's repeating that thing, and that's what he hammers home. That's the point of the promo. But then sometimes I feel like Paul Heyman does that too much, and they become a bit, I don't know, like. Smarky, samey, EC, when he did ECW, these are look at me. This is a good promo now because I'm doing it like this. Whereas this last one, I thought was just a genuinely good one. I just enjoyed it a bit more this week. I don't know. Okay.
It's okay.
You say things.
Sometimes. I think Tim says things now.
Go on, Tim.
Your turn.
Well, I'm always a Lesnar fan. I really like Braun Strowman at the moment, and you're right. I hadn't really thought about it. I mean, at some point they have to have one-on-one matches in wrestling, but you're right with this. The build-up has been better because it hasn't just been Strowman versus Brock. Whereas I think the match, might just have been better if they'd have gone 20 minutes, Brock and Strowman.
You're never going to get that though.
Maybe not, but if that happened, then I think that would have been good. And I think they sold the match well on Raw by doing that whole segment the way that they did. They had Roman Reigns come out last, be the big guy who's the smallest guy in the match.
Not say anything. Get
booed, not talk. Just come in there and throw some spears and get dropped himself. I'd like to think that's what would happen in the match as well, but probably not. Joe gets his words in. But then gets speared as well. So you've already got this. Strowman beat Reigns, but because Joe was there. Yeah. In the meantime as well, Lesnar hasn't had a chance to go after any of them. So they're kind of building him up as the second he gets to touch anyone, everyone's dead anyway.
Do you think for that reason they'll eliminate Brock from the match very quickly through a table or something and leave him for a bit while the others go at it, or what?
I don't think there's any way to eliminate Brock Lesnar unless you do it.
Well, Joe put him through that table and he was like out on his feet, wasn't he? Like,
yeah.
So what if Reigns spears him through a barricade, Braun slams him through a table, and then he gets choked out for a bit and left?
I think you do that towards the end of the match because if you do it at the beginning, it's the giving the knife at the beginning of the match. You set that up. It's like when you set a table up and you don't use it. You know you're going to use it later. If everyone takes out Lesnar at the start, you know he's going to come back. No matter what they do.
Do you not think that'd be a cool moment though? All three of them just go, right, let's get this guy out of the equation.
I quite like this. It's like a cheesy one, but even in the kind of like the Terminator kind of way, or it was at the end of. I think it was at the end of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like the building falls on Shredder when he's all powerful and all that kind of stuff. It was the second one, Secrets of the Ooze. Right. Kevin Nash played Shredder in that. Did you know that?
Did not know that.
Kevin Nash played souped up Shredder in Turtles 2. And then so the building falls on him at the end, and then like the hand comes up through the rubble, and it's like I'd cheer if they did that. Like if it's literally down, and then you just see him somehow like crawling his way back. Like you can't kill Brock Lesnar.
Like Nakamura did with Corbin a while back. No, it was the ladder match. It was Money in the Bank.
Oh, yeah,
Corbin jumped to the
yeah,
start,
but better than that.
Similar idea though.
Yeah, I do it like that, where he's like, we can't stop Brock because he's the beast.
I think I'd be okay with that. I just don't want to miss out on the Lesnar Strowman moment because they've clearly set that up. They've teased that, and they're like, we're not going to give you that. You're going to have to watch SummerSlam. It's the one sensible thing they did in planning this and booking it and having all the previews for it, rather than just giving us matches and
I think that's the one out of these four. That's the one-on-one match. That's the money.
Well, that's the collision in this match that I think everyone will want to see.
Yeah,
now.
and everyone will pop for.
So
I don't know. I'm excited. There's a lot of possibilities, which is exciting, and I hope they do have these little cool moments, these cool one-on-one moments.
And because there's the four of them, and it's not just a one-on-one, it isn't going to be a 6-minute max Brock Lesnar match. in theory, it should go 20, 25 minutes or whatever.
Because
you've
Brock can have a nice little rest.
Yeah, you can give each person a rest. You can take Braun or Roman out for a little bit as well. Each person can have their little rest. You can have little spots between the two. You can go up the ramp, come back, go into the crowd, come back, and do lots of different things, tables or whatever. I'm
feeling me up under the table.
I don't mind this match at all. I think this might be quite good. I really want your ending.
Yeah.
More than anything I've ever wanted. But I don't mind if any of the others win either. If Joe wins the title, I don't mind that at all. I think because I was up for him winning it last time.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that.
Yeah.
If Braun wins, yeah, fair enough. It makes sense that he would win. I don't mind.
Do you mind Roman winning?
If Roman wins and he's not part of the Shield, we might have to burn the house down. I will not be pleased about that. If Roman wins the belt,
Seth will open burn it down at least.
if Roman wins through Shield interference, brilliant. I'm all for it. If he wins,
do you know what?
I'm going to be a bit upset.
Even be a little bit okay with that. I think I've said this before. Just to fucking get it out of the way. Because we all know this big Roman coronation is coming at some point. They tried it 2 years ago.
We've been saying it for over 2 years.
Just get it. Just give him the belt and go,
he's
the
belt.
The guy.
He's
beat Brock Lesnar. He's beat,
He won't have done, though. Because it's a fatal 4-way. Even if he pins Lesnar, he's not done it one-on-one.
They have made the excuse where you said at the start, do you think you've telegraphed it? Yeah, they have. Because they keep saying he doesn't have to be pinned to lose the title. Someone else can sneak away with it. In theory, I'll be honest, that's what's going to happen.
That's the stipulation, though. And don't forget, by the way, when he had the match with Mark Hunt, he was still WWE Superstar at the time. Still contracted to WWE. So whether he's actually champion or not, he doesn't actually have to leave WWE to go and have this match in November.
No, but he might have to put in some more training if he's not taking any drugs.
Never there anyway. He doesn't need to go, oh, Vince, can I have a little bit of time off? You just be like, okay, Vince, I'll see you in December anyway.
I think the title should be on the show a bit more now.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's
it's been fine, and it has just about worked for me that he comes in and goes, because he's been on more than last few weeks. He's been
more than he was.
Yeah, and he looks like he's a bit happier to be there.
Yeah,
for me.
all reports
I think
say
that's
that he
part
was
of the reason why I've
really
liked him a bit.
enjoyed working with Joe.
He seems like he's generally part of the team.
I think
again.
he likes just doing cool stuff. And
Yeah.
when he gets presented a cool thing to do, like with Samoa Joe, he's like, right, come on, this is really fun.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's just impressed with how tough Strowman and Joe are, and he's thinking, yeah, okay, I'm into this.
I think the others probably have sold it to him pretty well as well, like Heyman and Vince or whoever. They've said, look, these guys, we want these guys to be the next you, because you have only got a year or two left, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So you fancy getting involved? And he's probably said, yeah, these two guys are pretty good guys, actually. Because he probably sees a bit of himself in Braun, and he knows Joe's like pretty legit badass kind of guy. So yeah, that's the thing why I don't think he's going to win. I think they have telegraphed it to a certain degree, and they do go for more obvious kind of stuff than not. So I think it will be one of the others who wins, and I think he will leave for a bit.
What's the finish then? Who wins?
He's all clouded now by my fancy looking.
That's the big question here. But okay, so we've got one idea of what you said. So if it's not Shield
the best idea ever,
Reigns wins.
Yeah. I can just see one of the other two winning it, and it being not a bit of a letdown, but I can see it being, oh, they've won. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
I can see that person.
At least it wasn't Roman.
I can see that person being Strowman. I think you go, oh yeah, Strowman, he's a big dude.
It's not. I don't think the end. It's not going to be a big way. It's just going to be a they've won it. Yeah. I think which is a shame, but
you can still get that big moment. It's difficult when they presented Strowman as the heel, because I think a lot of people really like him at the moment.
Do you think he is like full on heel?
Well, him versus Reigns, he's the heel. Reigns
it's
the
hard
face.
to tell it. It's hard to tell the Reigns.
It's completely inside out, isn't it? But I reckon you've got Lesnar the all rounder, but he's got his finisher move. He's got his submission moves. Joe's got his basically just Joe Cold and the cuddle. But because you've got those things, I reckon at the end of SummerSlam, the dramatic 1, 2, like a slow 1, 2, 3. If, and this is completely, probably the least likely thing to happen.
Not Carmella.
No, I'll let you have this on this then. If Strowman beats Lesnar 1, 2, 3, I reckon that gets a huge reaction.
It would.
Even though I think people really love, I reckon everyone loves both of them at the moment.
That's an oh my god moment if that happens. And yeah, I agree. I think if that happened, everyone would be like, "Oh, he's actually pinned him," and he hasn't escaped with it. He hasn't. It isn't a cop out. He's actually got pinned himself by the young up and comer guy, not the guy we hate, not the older guy who's been around the block, but this new beast. That is the best other scenario, and I would be okay with that, and I think that would be good. I don't think that will happen though. I'd like it though if that happened.
I reckon if you destroy Lesnar early on, but then you maybe he's down for 5 or 10 minutes while the other guys are just doing some high spots and having fun. Then he comes back and it's a brawl with everyone. Lesnar has lots of offense, suplexes the shit out of everybody, few near falls. Then he goes down and it's then a little bit more even. Then towards the end, you get Strowman beats the shit out of everyone. Lesnar beats the shit out of everyone. Then they beat the shit out of each other, and don't know whether the last couple of minutes you actually just have just have Strowman and Lesnar in the ring, or you do have everyone involved in the final spot, but make them both look strong, but also make them both look absolutely knackered.
Well, I do that with them. I do something where there is you can tell it's about to finish. It's finishes now. Everyone's hitting finishers, and like everyone's out on the feet. A couple like Reigns might hit a spear into Lesnar, and then
Heyman gets speared.
Something happens, and then it ends up with, and that's how you could have Braun. Yeah, he didn't pin him all by himself, and he didn't beat him all by himself, but I think he should. He's finished like power slam or whatever after a spear or like Superman punch into that bang. Joe tackles Reigns, and it means he can't split it up or whatever, something like that.
Yeah, if he's got him in the coquina clutch.
Yeah, outside the ring maybe, and he's trying to, he spots it, sees it, tries to get back in, he can't want to, and you do something like that, it's a bit of a, because you don't know where to look yourself then, it's like, but this means and then that would be good.
So many possibilities.
Who do you think's going to win?
I think
too hard now.
Strowman.
You're saying Strowman?
I'm going to say Strowman.
To pin who? Let's do this as an act.
To pin Reigns.
Strowman pins Reigns. Tim, who are you saying?
I don't think it's likely, but I'm actually going to say Strowman pins Lesnar.
Okay.
Just because it's the thing.
I'm going to say Joe wins. Just as a bit of a left field kind of one.
Who does he choke out?
Joe pins...
It is a pin as well.
Pins Roman.
Joe pins Roman.
Do you not think that's actually the weakest thing to happen?
Yes, I do. And because I really like Shield's my favourite, Braun pins Reigns is my second favourite, and I'm going with
Braun pins Lesnar.
Braun pins Lesnar is my second favourite, sorry. And then I'll say, but
the weakest one.
And it's the weakest one, and everyone goes,
oh.
Good night, everybody.
I feel bad for Joe.
But they won't be as angry as last SummerSlam, so it's an improvement. It's progress.
That's it.
And America needs progress.
And to nitpick, we start with a 1 count, and we have loads of near submissions, near falls.
Would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's dead at the end.
So we usually give it a review afterwards out of 10. What are you saying possibility-wise?
Good idea.
Are you giving SummerSlam on possibility alone out of 10?
Possibility.
Because I'm just a hopeless romantic, and I like wrestling.
Yeah.
It's SummerSlam. It's got the potential to be a 10.
Okay, 10 from Tim.
It won't be. Is it? I don't know if that's the question you're asking. Is it just the potential, or
what do you think it will be?
What do I think it will be?
Yeah, it's all possibility. It could be 11.
I think it could be a 7 out of 10.
You're going to go for it.
There'll be some cool stuff. There'll be a lot of garbage in between.
Roman Reigns is garbage. It's garbage. I agree with that. I will agree. I will say it'll be about 7.5 sort of thing. I do like
more importantly, Adam.
I know. Well, this is what I thought.
This is it. I was
going to go off your kind of.
Well,
what I should have done was wrote a number down out of 30, and if the possibility reached this number, then I would have said, right.
Well, you
But I
can,
didn't do
still
that.
say what kind of a number do you need? Do you need it 50%? So you need overall 15.
No, I need more than 50%.
You need more than
50%. I don't get in bed out of bed for 50%.
He doesn't get in bed.
I don't get in bed for 50%. I need the whole 100%.
Well, here's my quick preview review. There are hardly any matches that have a greater consequence on this card. I don't think. So.
Do you mean like all the title matches in
there? No,
yeah, because
you're talking Urata's, Rusev's,
like
Finn's, Bray's.
Yeah, all those
Cena,
matches,
Baron.
but even the title matches as well. If the Raw Tag Team Championships, probably it makes a different storyline if the Shield wins it, but otherwise not really important. SmackDown Tag Team doesn't make any difference either way. Both women's championships, I don't think matter either way unless Carmella cashes in on either of them. Cruiserweight we've already had. WWE Championship, maybe if Nakamura wins, but we're probably just going to get the rematch if that happens anyway. 6.5 max.
Ooh.
It's a very negative.
It sounds like he's going to dissuade you here.
I know, that doesn't sound good to me at all.
I think, though, that's from my perspective as someone who's not going to go.
Yeah.
For a show,
the
matches themselves to be there, I think that then completely turns on its head because I think a lot of these matches will be fucking great.
How much are you looking at a ticket?
They're quite expensive, the tickets.
Well, you mean some non-committal on the price?
Well, I don't want to know people knowing how much I'm willing to spend on tickets and things like that.
I'm genuinely asking because I don't have any idea.
Or disposable income.
No, plenty of that.
A few years ago, just because I wanted to torture myself, I went on the pre-sale for WrestleMania, and I had in my basket 2 front row tickets, £1,400 each. Obviously, I didn't have
Probably should have got them.
A fraction of that in my bank.
I know, because if I get them, I will get them off the StubHub ticketing website. Other ticketing websites are available. But I've seen that front row, where the camera facing front row, some of the tickets are £12,000 each.
I think I have no frame of reference.
That's
I've only ever seen
£12,000. So some people sell them for £12,000. The row behind, people are selling them for like £3,000. So somebody's got a bit carried away with the £12,000 then.
How the fuck
someone's
is it
making a profit?
Yeah.
How is it that there are so many people like the Bayern Munich guy, the Brock Lesnar guy?
Yeah.
How is it that they are always on the front row?
I'm not sure. There's a few of them that are always there front row. I've no idea. If I see them, I'll ask
They
them.
know people like you've got like Frank the Clown because he's dating Noelle Foley, and so they're always there.
Yeah.
So maybe they just know people.
But saying that, I
sometimes.
could go to the Summerslam show and sit, up in the
Cheap
nosebleeds
You'd
for.
still see it.
I could, and you can see fine, and it's on the big screen and everything. I could do that for £80-90.
Okay, well that's what I was thinking, like, because I've only ever seen house shows or like raw tapings over there. They're about what, 40, 50 quid, maybe 60 a stretch for a raw taping.
Yeah, I think I hadn't even been to tapings and spent 40 quid on a house show.
If you make a day of it,
Take a
Well,
bit,
it's
Nick.
6 fucking hours.
so well, yeah, but go find somewhere to go in the morning beforehand and soak in the ambulance.
Right.
Yeah, soak in the ambulance, like you said.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm undecided. I'll let you know though.
Possibility to meet Sasha beforehand.
I know
you
that does
could
tip it
just
a little
sit
bit.
in a nice apartment, watch it in the comfort of
Could just
a
do
nice
that.
big telly with some beers.
I know.
Here's my
And
prediction.
tweeting us, no bets.
Here's my prediction. There's no fucking way he's not going to SummerSlam. He's going to go to the States
When
2
in-
days before.
I'm going on
When in
Friday.
Rome.
I'm going on Friday with the idea of if I do that, I can definitely go. So I will see. I'm not going to do NXT like I said this time. And I didn't realise this, but NXT in Barclays Centre, SummerSlam, Barclays Centre, Raw, Barclays Centre, SmackDown, Barclays Centre.
Oh, really? SmackDown as well?
If you wanted to, I don't. You could go 4 nights in a row and watch it all. I'm not going to do that.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
2 was a lot last year.
Yeah, I can imagine the Saturday, Sundays enough.
I wouldn't.
Or the Sunday, Monday.
Just to finalise my answer to your question, though, overall, as a show, on the night, it'll be 8.5 to 9.
Okay.
Because I think there are enough very good matches on.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not decided.
So,
I'll have a think.
we're breaking up for summer.
That's it. Yeah.
Scores
Should we say one more thing about wrestling just before we say our goodbyes?
Yeah, go on.
Should we just say get well soon to Mr. Ric Flair?
Yes.
Pass on our thoughts and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully he does recuperate.
I thought it was quite an absolute legend. We wish him all the best. And speedy recovery.
Woo! We're indeed. So yeah, that's us done. That was episode 50. Yeah.
5 of them forget where the camera is.
So that's it. What are we doing now? Is that it for a bit?
Yeah, seems that way.
Right. Stay tuned on the YouTube, on the Twitter feed. What's the YouTube channel? Just type in Triple Threat Club. What's the Twitter?
At 3 Threat Club.
Okay. What's the Instagram?
Triple Threat Club Podcast.
Okay. Stay tuned on that for more Triple Threat Club podcast related news, features, upcoming events, signings, appearances. Don't know.
What's that Bob Dylan song? The times are changing.
I don't know.
I just thought of an angle.
No! Stop murdering me with balloons.
I'm right, bitches.
Okay, right. See you soon. Take it easy, everybody.
Yeah.
Bow, 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 bow. Confused myself coming over here.
Silly idiot. Rodney Planter.
Turn it all off.
Turn it off.
Turn that shit off.
Turn off the lights.
Peace.